Friday Night SmackDown was hijacked by the fans last night during the Charlotte Flair and Tiffany Stratton promo. Let me tell you, my goodness, the fans did not want to hear a thing that Charlotte Flair had to say. So they both come out and they're both wearing black. So I'm like, why are they both wearing black? That was just kind of weird, and their outfits look similar to me. So I'm like, what's going on with this? And I will tell you, with Charlotte Flair, her suit or her outfit just it looked awkward. It was not. I don't know what she was thinking when she came out with that. So Flair, so the general manager's out there, Nick, and not Nick, one of the commentators. I can't think of his name now. Whatever his name is. My goodness, I can't remember his name. But anyway, he's saying, hey, you guys have this match at WrestleMania. Let's have this face to face. Tell me, why do you think you're going to win? Explain yourself to me. So Charlotte Flair is saying that she has power, and she is saying that she chose Tiffany because it's just charity work for her, and it's just another match to her, and that she will defeat Tiffany Stratton. Pretty much, Tiffany Stratton is just another wannabe, and the fans were just booing the heck out of her. And then Tiffany was pretty much saying, you will always be second to your father. You're saying all this stuff to me. You've been divorced, what, two times, and you're such a loser. You're only here because of your father, and you can't stand a chance to defeat me at WrestleMania. I'm going to show you at WrestleMania that I'm going to take you out. So, and I feel like, I think this is probably Tiffany's best promo, and especially towards the end, she really got into it. And also, she was talking about like how Charlotte Flair was on a talk show, the Sherry Shepherd's talk show, and how she was, pretty much crying, talking about how, her injury and her, marriage, how it fell apart and all that kind of stuff. So, Tiffany brought that up. So I thought it was really interesting. But when Charlotte tried to speak again, the fans just did not want to hear her talk. And I actually felt bad for Charlotte Flair, because you could tell, like, to me, it was written all over her face. And if you're trying to, if you're trying to get your words out, if you're trying to do this promo, and if the fans are not letting you speak, they're booing over you, they're booing big time, what can you do? So I really felt for her, and I wanted to hear what she had to say, but you could tell she said, okay, Tiffany, hey, I'll let you have the last word. So you could tell that she was flustered. So, and I know people were saying, they went off script. I don't know. Maybe they did. People say you watch it, it seems like they did, but we really don't know. And I know there's reports going around saying, confirming that they went, that they did go off script, I should say. But who knows? Did WWE say, hey, go out there and say whatever? So I don't know. I don't know. That's all, speculation, even though there's reports going on, but we really don't know. But but you can definitely tell that Flair was just like, what? And I did feel bad for her, because I wanted to hear what she had to say. And I feel like, even though the fans, like, we get really into it, I get that, and that's great. But at least let the woman, let's hear what she has to say. So, you know what I mean? And I'm not saying that, Charlotte Flair, she's not the best on a mic or anything like that. She's not, I don't want to say compare her to her father, because Ric Flair is one of the best, but Ric Flair, just his charisma and just his delivery and the things he would say, he just had it. Just, he's one of the best on a mic. And Flair, she's just really good in the ring, but mic work, she's not the best or anything. But I still wanted to hear the rest of the promo, but the fans, they did not want to hear it. They did not care. And I know what Flair, this is the issue. She will go away for months. She'll get injured. She'll be out for 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, for a year, and then she's back in the title picture. And that's the issue. And if you're always, and no matter if you're the greatest wrestler in the world, if you're always being pushed, they're pushing you in the main event or in the title picture, after a while it gets old and people are sick and tired of it. And I think that's what happened with Flair, the fact that she won the Royal Rumble. And then, she chose Tiffany, to be her opponent at WrestleMania. So fans and just people, it's like watching the same show, rerun after rerun, so it gets old after a while. So I feel like if they wanted, and it looked like they wanted Charlotte Flair to be the baby face, and I know there's reports online as well, but it seemed like that's what they were trying to do. But the fans, they were not having it, even when she came back and then when she had that promo on Raw after the Royal Rumble. So that's the issue. She doesn't always have to be in the title picture, in the main event for for a world championship. And that's the issue. They can build, other storylines with Flair, and I think that fans will be maybe more into that. But if you keep on pushing someone, pushing them big time, people don't like that. And I think that's what happened here, you know. And I did, like I said, Flair, I was like, what do you say when people are booing you and they don't give a damn what you have to say? So, yes, so this, what? And I know like there was another promo, and I think that was from last week or 2 weeks ago. There was a backstage promo, and people were saying that Charlotte Flair went off script, and it looked like maybe she did. I don't know that they wanted to be executed that way to get people to talk about this, and now people are saying Tiffany got her lick back, if you will, so we shall see what's going to happen, but that promo made me more into the match because I did want to see the match originally. But then like the storyline, like the last couple of weeks, it was just like but last night it got me more into it. So let's see what will happen. Take care and have a good one.